Hey everyone, I'm Michael Majors,
And I'm Ross Merriam.
and you're watching the Versus series on StarCityGames.com. All right, today in a nice little change of pace, we're going to be playing some Legacy. You excited, Ross?
Definitely.
Okay. Been playing a little bit Modern lately, but
Modern lately.
I'm sorry?
We've been playing a lot of Modern lately.
We have been playing a lot of Modern
Modern
lately.
opens in January. There's the Pro Tour. There's a Modern Grand Prix coming up in, another week?
2 weeks, yeah.
2 weeks, yeah. There was another Modern tournament last weekend. There's been a lot of Modern recently.
Yeah, you're right. So this weekend will be the SG Tour stop in Philadelphia, and that's going to be Legacy. So we're going to be playing that today. I'm going to be piloting a list that Dylan Donegan won a classic with a couple weeks back, Grixis Delver. What are you playing today, Ross?
I am playing Storm, the list I piloted to the top 4 of an Open last November in New Jersey.
Ancient.
I mean, Storm doesn't really change.
Yeah.
Let me tell you.
I guess that's the beauty of Legacy.
We got Dark Petition. That's the biggest change to the deck in like 4 years.
Yeah, Dark
I guess
Petition's
Past
awesome.
and Flames is actually the biggest change. But
I don't think I've ever actually played against Storm now that it has Dark Petition, so this should be interesting.
yeah, it's a slight upgrade. I used to play a Grim Tutor, and not only was that card incredibly difficult to find,
Grim Tutor was just horrendous.
yeah, it also just does not very good.
Losing 3 life is just a lot.
Yeah, because you frequently have to play the tutor twice in one turn on a Past in Flames, so like you need more than 6 life, and with fetches and Gataxian probes
And ad nauseum.
and ad nauseum. But I mean, rarely do you need sometimes you need to ad nauseum into a tutor, and hitting Grim Tutor was horrible, which is another downside to it. But
Yeah.
it was not good. It was a necessary evil because you just needed one more big spell, and now Dark Petition lets you do that.
Yeah, I've only played Storm very casually. I've never played a tournament with it, and it always felt like Grim Tutor was just awful. But so we kind of have the very classic aggro control tempo deck versus the combo deck. I think this matchup is historically pretty close.
Yeah, and I think generally, Storm has been slightly ahead, but the Grixis Delver deck has an interesting element in that you get to play 4 Cabal Therapies in your sideboard to go with Young Pyromancer, and whenever you can diversify your disruption and have some amount of counter magic and some amount of discard, in addition to some wastelands, so you have 3 different angles to stymie me on resources,
Yep.
then you can much more effectively stop the combo deck, especially Storm. Because frequently what happens with Storm is that you're bottlenecked on some sort of resource, and the Storm's opponent needs to figure out which resource they're bottlenecked on and exacerbate that issue as much as possible, while providing some sort of clock and also stymieing them on time.
Also, Deathrite Shaman actually lets you interact with the graveyard, which it sometimes can be relevant against Storm.
Oh, definitely can be. Past in Flames is one of the ways you can go off from a low base of resources. So if you're able to stop me from going off the first time and I have to reload, I'm usually going to reload with a Past in Flames, especially because you're going to pressure my life total, so that reloading with ad nauseum is not going to happen nearly as often.
Right.
But you can usually find, you get to basically see their entire graveyard when they cast Past in Flames and figure out what their line is and take the key card, whether it be an Infernal Tutor or a Ritual or even a Brainstorm if they're trying to dig towards the combo after the Past in Flames.
Yep. So as Ross alluded to, my kind of objective is to identify the way which I can best exploit whatever resources Ross has, and the most important thing is to also simultaneously put a clock on Ross.
That's one of the more underrated aspects of playing in Storm. I think people have come around to it in the last year or so and figured out that you just can't give this deck infinite time.
Right.
The Storm deck can win through a ridiculous amount of disruption if you give it 10, 20 turns.
Yeah, sitting back on just 2 Force Wills and a Spell Pierce sounds great, but it's not going to hold them back forever. You actually need to pressure their life total.
Yeah, but if you can kill them on turn 6 or 7 while having a Force of Will, a Wasteland, and a Daze, that's probably good enough.
Yep. Right. So the fact that if Storm gets a ton of time, this Delver deck in particular plays a lot of soft counter magic, Spell Pierce, Daze. A lot of decks in Legacy that are Delver decks specifically play those kinds of cards, and those cards get significantly worse as the game progresses. So to leverage them the best, it requires that you actually are attacking your opponent. So.
Yeah. Which, I mean, is true regardless of the matchup you're playing, but
True.
especially exacerbated in this matchup where if you give them too long, you just die on the spot
Right.
instead of them resolving like a terminus. It's like
Yeah.
you're just dead. There's
Right.
a difference between those two things. One
And
is
of course,
worse than the other.
this deck has fast mana, which is something that can fight through these Days of Spell Pierces, etc.
Yeah.
But yeah, this should be a fun matchup. Not something we've done yet, so pretty excited about it.
Yeah, I mean, I have not had as much fun playing a legacy deck as I've had with Storm since like the first 2 or 3 months I picked up Elves.
Sure. All right, let's get to it. Poker hand.
Yeah.
I have
6
two
high.
pair again. All right, I'll play first.
We haven't had more than like a pair of ones in a month.
All right, we're back here for game 1 of Grixis Delver versus Storm. My hand is interesting in that, so what I alluded to in the introduction is how important it is to have a clock, specifically in this matchup, but even just with this Delver deck in general. And while this hand does not have a creature, we have a variety of disruptive elements and some manipulation. So I think that, especially if this was in the dark, I would certainly keep this hand on the play, and I think we should be able to find what we need.
And from the Storm side, I'm just looking for a good mix of action and mana, and this hand has that, so I will keep.
All right, so I certainly am not interested in casting this Brainstorm on turn 1 because we only have 1 fetch land, and I definitely want to just get more information to figure out the kind of line we want to take, so I will pay 2 life and progress.
I will show you a hand that kills on turn 1.
Yes, the old turn 1 kill. LED. Ritual ×2. Therapy. Adnaz. Tutor. Rainforest. Draw a card. And due to how powerful Ross's hand is, we probably should just play this Delta and pass the turn.
Is your list playing Stifles?
No.
No. Okay.
I don't think that should really be a consideration for how you lead out in the first turn.
Yeah, it's not really. I'm still wondering it in general. I'm going to have to correct this fetch anyway. The question is whether or not I want to just straight up go for it or play a slower game. We're a bit vulnerable to Wasteland since this is going to have to find an Underground Sea. But we're not under any amount of pressure. So, given that, I think I just want to slow play this hand a bit. Just Cabal Therapy. I'm a 19.
All right, we're going to go ahead and let that resolve. Presumably, Ross has to name Forcible.
Yeah, I will name Forcible. Oh. I guess it could have been really heady for me to name Spell Pierce, given how you played your turn. But
I don't know. I mean, I feel like it makes more sense for you to just lead on Forcible every time since it's a 4.
yeah. He has the Wasteland, so this is not very good for us. But so it's 2x Waste, Delver, Pierce, Brainstorm, Bolt. You can go.
All right, so we have a few decisions we can make here. Again, obviously, getting a clock into play as fast as possible is certainly appealing. We could consider end of turn brainstorming to try to hit a second blue source, but considering the fact that we, as far as we know, and there's only been 1 additional draw step, Ross only has 1 land, we probably just want to wasteland, so we can take another draw step and decide whether we want to play our Delver or to leave up Spell Pierce again. So we can just draw, okay. And now that we've drawn that, I think it's better to just play as safe as possible. We'll just play a Wasteland Ross. And then on the following turn, we can do both of these things in conjunction with this. So we'll just pass the turn again.
You can go.
Okay. So that was unfortunate. All right, and now because we have the option of shuffling this with this, and we do want to play this on the following turn, I'm generally not a huge fan of this, but I think it's fine that we go ahead and brainstorm in a turn.
So you're at 17.
And so we can either decide whether we want to get blue-black for Deathrite Shaman and Angler or blue-red for Young Pyromancer. I think Deathrite Shaman and Angler are a little bit more powerful in the matchup, so we'll lead on that. Also, this Lightning Bolt in our hand is not very good. It does have the potential to, like, speed up our clock by a turn, but... Okay. So I think I can shuffle away one of these and this. Or excuse me, I can shuffle away this. I'm still going to draw this for my turn. So draw. Play this Floated Strand. Play Delver, pass the turn.
So you have how many cards in?
5.
5. Pierce, Bolt, and I guess you could have
Well,
the Bolt on top of your
yeah.
deck. But
I think you can really only assume I have Spell Pierce still.
Yep. Okay.
And you have 1 unknown? 2 unknowns.
Yeah, 2 unknowns. Go to 18.
Yep.
Get basic Swamp, play Dark Ritual.
Because of the way Ross's hand is configured, we basically have to choose. If we want to use our Spell Pierce, we kind of have to do it now. But just from what we have and the information that we have available to us right now, I think it's better for us to hold. So, Ritual Resolve.
Do we have a Caleb Shearer?
We should have a Caleb Shearer. If we don't, that's just a shame.
Yeah, that is an oversight on our part.
Yeah.
Okay, well, Storm 1, 3 black and pool. I'm going to 2 black and therapy, Storm 2.
Well, this is unfortunate. Ross has drawn very well. I don't think we can really do anything about this. So it resolves.
I will name Spell Pierce.
Okay.
So, yeah, you're dead.
Am I just like? I guess maybe I'm supposed to just Spell Pierce it.
And you had to, but I was okay with that happening.
Yeah.
So yeah, 2 storm, 2 blacks, and then we ritual, go to 4 black, 3 storm, 4 storm. This goes to 2, hold priority. Yes, 2, 5, 6 mana total, and then you get Past in Flames, cast it floating 2, cast 2 rituals. That goes to 6, and then Infernal Tutor for Tendrils. So this sucks for red. So once we have 3 red in our pool, then we can use the 3 red and a black and play Past in Flames to 6 storm, and then ritual go to 8 storm, Infernal Tutor go to 9 storm. The rituals bring us up to 5. Tutor brings me down to 3. Tendrils you with 10 storm. No mana floating.
And 2 of 3 perfect draw steps kills us.